Welcome to our lessons in math. In today's session, you will be learning on how to illustrate quadratic equations. But first, we need to define what is a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation is also known as second-degree equation because the highest power of the variable is 2. Now we have here two examples of equation, and I want you to choose which of these two is a quadratic equation. I will give you 3 seconds to think and to give the answer. Time is up. Now, which of these two is a quadratic equation? Is it equation 1 or equation 2? Correct, the equation 1. Why? Because the exponent of our equation 1 is 2, while the other equation, the exponent is 3. So therefore, this is not a quadratic equation. Now, let us identify what is the standard form of quadratic equation. So the standard form of quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0 and x is an unknown variable. Now in our first term here, the ax squared, this is the quadratic term. And why? Because the exponent is 2. And the second term is the linear term. Why? Because the exponent of x is 1. And the last term is the constant term because there's no variable in it. It's just purely numbers. And that is our constant. Now I want you to look at this example number 1. Is it already in standard form? Yes, because our first term is in quadratic term. The second term is in linear term, and the third term is a constant term. So you can identify easily the value of A, B, and C. So the value of A is 3, the value of B is 7, and the value of C is equal to negative 1. Our second example is in factored form. So meaning, we need to change this into standard form. How? So easy. You just remember your lesson when you're still in grade 8. In multiplying binomials, we are using one method which is the FOIL method. FOIL stands for first, O outer, I inner, and L is the last term. So we have here the arrows for you to identify which is first, inner, outer, and last. Now our first term is x times x. So that is x squared. Our outer term, x times negative 8, and that is negative 8x. In our inner term, 3 times x, and that is 3x. In our last term, 3 times negative 8, and that is negative 24. Now, we will combine all the products that we had using the FOIL method. And that is x squared minus 8x plus 3x minus 24 is equal to 0. So the two like terms here is the negative 8x and the positive 3x. So these two terms only, we can combine these two. So negative 8x plus 3x, that is negative 5x. So the standard form of the factored form, or the quantity of x plus 3 times the quantity of x minus 8 is equal to x squared minus 5x minus 24 is equal to 0. So we can now identify the value of a, which is equal to 1. Note, Variables with no numbers have coefficient of 1. So as you can see here, our x has no coefficient. You cannot see in any number. But it is understood that there is a coefficient of 1. Our b is negative 5. And our c is negative 24. So meaning, no need for you to write the variables if we want to know only the value of a, b, and c. And always remember that the minus sign will be the sign of the given number. So this, like this one, negative 5x. So negative 5. Okay, another example. Okay, in this example class, as you can see, we need to, it is a quadratic equation. However, it is not written in standard form. So to transform it to its standard form, we need to use the distributive property and make one side of the equation 0 as shown below. So 2x multiplied to the quantity of x minus 4 is equal to 12. So 2x times x, that is 2x squared. 2x times negative 4, that is negative 8x is equal to 12. Then what happened? Next, we will apply the subtraction property. We will get the opposite of positive 12, which is negative 12, and we add that to both sides of the equation. So 2x squared minus 8x plus negative 12 is equal to 12 plus negative 12 or minus 12. So our answers now, or the standard form, is 2x squared minus 8x minus 12 is equal to 0. So we can now identify the value of our a here, which is 2, b is negative 8, and c is equal to negative 12. Okay, I hope you understand so that you can answer your book, your modules in math. So let us try to answer this one. Another example. We'll just give another example. We have here 2x squared plus 3x plus 6 is equal to 0. So what is a here? Is equal to 2. B is equal to 3. And C is equal to 6. Another example. 5. Here is the value of our A. 2 is the value of our B. And C is the value of 1. Another example. It is in a standard form. So A is 4. B is, what is the coefficient of B here? The coefficient of x. That is 1. And our C is negative 7. In the last example, we have here 2x squared plus x. So the value of A is 2. The value of B is equal to 1. And as you can see, we don't have coefficient here. We don't have constant term here. So therefore, C is equal to 0. Okay. So sometimes class, the linear term will also be missing, or it becomes 0. So if there's no linear term, or the second term, which is b, the value of b, so therefore you just write it into 0, the value of b. Okay, that's all for this session. You can now answer your module. Answer your module illustrates quadratic equation first. Wag muna yung solving quadratic equation by extracting square root. To follow na lang ito kasi I will discuss pa kung paano kayo mag-solve using extracting square root. Okay, have fun in learning math.